The energy inside the studio was strange from the moment the crew arrived that morning. People whispered in the hallways, glancing toward Joy Behar's dressing room as if expecting an explosion to erupt at any moment. Joy wasn't usually volatile. She was sharp, opinionated, fiery, yes, but predictable in her own way. Today, though, something simmered beneath her surface, a restlessness the staff picked up instantly. When the makeup artist tried to lighten the mood by joking, "You're a little wound up today, aren't you?" Joy simply muttered, "Just making sure I'm awake for what's coming," before staring into the mirror with an intensity that suggested she was preparing for battle, not a talk show. Meanwhile, Liam Neeson arrived through the side entrance, greeting everyone with a calm nod and a soft smile. He had that gentle charisma that put most people at ease, most people except Joy Behar on a morning like this. He chatted pleasantly with the crew, even laughed when a technician apologized for tripping over a cable. "All good, my friend," he said, helping the man up. No harm done. The contrast between Joy's tense pacing and Liam's tranquil presence was already creating sparks before either of them appeared on stage. As the audience settled in and the show's theme music blasted through the studio, Joy walked out with her usual confident stride, but her smile looked forced. Whoopi gave her a sideways glance, the kind that meant, "You good?" Joy nodded stiffly, pretending not to notice the concern behind it. The show began with the usual banter, headlines, political jokes, celebrity tidbits. Joy delivered punchlines like darts thrown with just a bit too much force. The audience laughed, but the co-hosts exchanged wary glances. Something was off. Then came the moment everyone had been waiting for. Whoopi's warm voice rang out, "Please welcome the legendary Liam Neeson." The audience erupted into applause as Liam stepped onto the stage, waving modestly and offering a small bow. Joy clapped along, but her eyes were narrow, studying him like a chess opponent rather than a guest. He took his seat between Whoopi and Sunny, leaning forward to greet everyone with his trademark gentle handshake. At first, everything was smooth, almost too smooth. Liam talked about his new film, describing its emotional depth, its themes of grief, redemption, inner battles. His voice was soothing, the kind that could turn even a dull plot into something poetic. The audience adored him instantly. Joy waited, patient on the surface, impatient beneath. Finally, while Liam was mid-sentence describing a challenging scene, Joy tilted her glasses down and jumped in. "So, Liam," she said with a smile so sweet it was suspicious, "don't you ever get tired of playing the brooding tough guy? You know, the man with the mysterious past who whispers threats into a phone." Laughter rippled through the audience, but it came with a twinge of awkwardness. The co-host stiffened. Liam paused. "Well," he said slowly, "I wouldn't say I play the same character each time." Joy leaned in, elbows on the table. "Really? Because half the internet thinks otherwise." Whoopi shot her a glare. Sunny cleared her throat, a warning signal Joy ignored. Liam straightened slightly, folding his hands. "I choose stories that resonate with me. And yes, some involve action. But that doesn't mean I'm repeating myself." Joy smirked. "But come on, your filmography is basically, guy loses something, guy fights everyone on the planet, guy wins." More hesitant laughter. Liam raised an eyebrow, not angry, but clearly taken aback. "Joy, I understand you're teasing, but that seems a bit reductive." Joy shrugged. "I'm just saying what people say online. And don't you want something fresh at this point?" The atmosphere shifted like someone had sucked the oxygen out of the room. The audience quieted. Liam took a slow breath. "I don't mind tough questions," he said carefully. "But I do mind when someone frames my work as a joke." Sarah subtly shook her head at Joy, trying to signal back off, but Joy either didn't see or didn't care. "Oh, don't be sensitive," she said, waving him off. "It's just commentary. You're an actor, you've been criticized before." Liam's jaw tightened, barely, but enough that the cameras picked it up. His voice became firmer. "Criticism is fine. Mockery on live television is something else." The audience let out a collective, "Ooh," the kind that filled the air with anticipation. Joy's face flushed, but she forced a stiff smile. "It was a joke, Liam. Lighten up." Liam leaned forward, eyes steady, voice cool. "Joy, you invited me here to talk about a film I poured my heart into. I'm happy to have a real discussion. But if you simply want to make fun of me, you're wasting my time." The audience exploded with applause, loud, shocked, a little delighted. Joy blinked rapidly. This wasn't how the script was supposed to go. Nobody ever turned the tables on her this cleanly. She tried to recover. Don't twist this. I was asking about your range. You were provoking me, Liam interrupted gently. And that's fine. But don't act like it's journalism. The studio felt strangely charged even before the cameras rolled again. Something about the energy at the table had shifted, an uneasy quiet replacing the usual chatter during commercial breaks. The hosts sat frozen in their places as stagehands adjusted microphones and the floor manager counted down the final seconds. But the real tension radiated from the far end of the table where Joy Behar sat, jaw clenched, arms folded tight, eyes fixed on Liam Neeson with a look that hovered somewhere between irritation and disbelief. Liam, meanwhile, seemed caught between frustration and restraint. He wasn't a man prone to explosions, years of interviews, decades of navigating Hollywood, and a reputation built on calm gravitas crafted a kind of practiced patience around him. But today, even that resolve was visibly fraying. The heated exchange from moments earlier, one that had swelled out of what was supposed to be a harmless conversation about character motivations, still hung in the air like smoke. As the cameras turned back on, Whoopi jumped in first, eager to smooth things over. She forced out a chuckle, clearly attempting to reset the tone for the audience. All right, we're back, everybody. Lively discussion this morning, huh? She said, sending a pointed, hopeful glance between Joy and Liam. But Joy wasn't in a mood to be redirected. Her voice cut through the studio, sharper and louder than it needed to be. No, let's not pretend, she said, leaning forward, her hands slicing through the air in emphasis. If someone's going to imply I don't understand nuance, I think it's fair to address it, even on live television. Liam closed his eyes for a brief moment, its duration long enough to convey both regret and renewed irritation. He cleared his throat. Joy, I didn't say you don't understand nuance. I said you were misinterpreting the complexity of the character's intention. Oh, please, Joy snapped, rolling her eyes dramatically, earning a gasp from the audience. That's the same thing with extra syllables. A ripple of uncomfortable laughter echoed from the crowd, unsure whether to lean into humor or brace for impact. Sunny Hostin shifted in her seat, her hands folded tightly in her lap. She looked at Joy, then Liam, then back at Joy, silently calculating whether jumping in would help or douse gasoline on the fire. Liam leaned forward now, his tone measured but firm. With all respect, the point I was making is that villains, real or fictional, aren't always cartoonish. They can be layered, conflicted, sometimes even sympathetic. That's what makes storytelling meaningful. Joy wasn't having it. Well, forgive me, she retorted, voice thick with sarcasm, for expecting a movie about a revenge-driven ex-cop to be just that, a movie. Not a philosophical dissertation. The audience reacted again, this time with a mix of laughs and uneasy murmurs. Liam's expression tightened. His usual composed presence felt shaken, a slight tremor rode along the edge of his voice as he spoke again. Joy, you invited me here to discuss my work. I'm doing that. I'm not attacking you. Joy slammed her hand on the table, not hard enough to make a loud bang, but enough to punctuate the moment. And I'm discussing it back. You just don't like that I'm challenging your perspective. Whoopi's eyes widened. Okay, let's keep this respectful, she said, raising her hands as if officiating a ceasefire. Liam, Joy, both of you. But Joy was past the point of rescue. Her voice rose, sharper, cutting across Whoopi's attempt to regain control. I'm all for discussion, but I'm not going to be talked down to like I'm in a film theory class. Liam's patience snapped, not explosively, but decisively. He pushed back from the table slightly, his posture suddenly taller, colder. Nobody is talking down to you, he said, enunciating each word with a calmness that felt dangerously close to breaking. You're twisting my words to create a fight. And honestly, I don't appreciate it. The audience audibly gasped. Even the camera operators seemed to freeze. Joy blinked hard, her face flushing red. That single statement, calm, restrained, but piercing, landed heavier than anything shouted could have. She opened her mouth to respond, but the words tangled. For the first time all morning, she looked genuinely taken aback. Whoopi seized the moment. All right, we're taking a break. No, Joy interrupted, standing abruptly. The sudden movement jolted everyone. If he wants to imply I'm manufacturing drama, then I don't need to sit here and play along. Before anyone could fully process what was happening, Joy was already walking away from the table, her notes left scattered behind her. She didn't storm off angrily, it was something more unsettling, something final. A deliberate, silent exit carrying more weight than any shouting match could. The audience gasped again, louder this time. The camera tried to shift away, but the moment had already imprinted itself on everyone watching. Liam looked stunned. His irritation drained instantly, replaced by visible worry. He glanced toward the direction Joy had left, then toward the hosts, then back at the audience. "I didn't mean for that to happen," he said softly, his voice cracking just slightly.